Alright folks, welcome to video number 2 for your Algebra 2 final exam review. 90.9 the quadratic here. Given f of x is equal to this piecewise function. Guys, it's all about figuring out where your value of x can go. See where it says find f of -5. F of -5, go in the first equation because it's definitely less than or equal to -3. -5 is less than -3, so use the first equation. You do 7 times x, which is 7 times -5, minus 4 is -39. Then f of -3, guys. You see -3 twice. It's kind of a transition point. Will -3 go here or here? This one clearly says x has to be greater than -3. This says x is allowed to be less than or equal to -3. So that's why I use the first equation again. Plug it in and get -25. -2 is most definitely greater than -3 and less than 4. Plug -2 in right there. 8 minus 5 times -2 is 8 plus 10, 18. Plug 0 into the second equation as well. It's between -3 and 4. You're going to get 8. Lastly, 4. 4 would go in the third equation because x is allowed to be 4. It says greater than or equal to 4. And also plug 6 into the last equation. It is bigger than 4. All right, those are your two answers for E and F. Graph the inequality, folks. So you're going to treat it like it says y equals 1/2 x minus 4. The y-intercept here is -4. You go up 1 over 2. It's going to have a solid line because it says greater than or equal to. And you're going to shade above because it is greater than. You can also test 0, 0 at the origin. If you plug 0 in for y, 0 in for x, you get 0 is greater than or equal to -4, which is true. 0, 0 was above the line, and it's true. That's why you shade above the line. All right. 18 here, folks. Solve each system. You know what y is, so you're going to plug y in, or 2x minus 3 in for x right here. So it's going to be x plus 2 times this is y equals -1. Use distribution. 5x minus 26 is a -1. 5x is 25. X is 5. Plug 5 in for x right there. Y is -3. All right, next one here. If you double the second equation, then you get the y's to match up. They're opposites. Add. To get rid of opposites, you add. Get 7x equals -7. X is a -1. I don't know, plug -1 in for here, in for x right here in the second equation like we did. You're going to get y equals 4. On 19 here, you can get rid of the y's relatively easily. They're opposite signs, so multiply the top equation by 7. And the bottom equation by that 2 right there. So you have opposite y's, so you're going to add again. You're going to add to get rid of opposite signs you add. You get 39x is 77 plus 41, 17. X is 3. Plug 3 in, maybe the first equation. You get 5 times 3 plus 2y is 11. You're going to get y is -2. Guys, 22 is pretty easily here. Notice that both of these equal each other, so you're going to set... or they're both equal to y, so they both must be equal to each other. -3x minus 8 is 2x plus 17. Subtract 17 from both sides, add 3x to both sides. You get x is -5. Plug -5 in for x in any of these two equations. You're going to get y is 7. 23 is not going to be our final, so we're not going to worry about it. Guys, you can solve a 3 by 3 or really any matrix or any system equation using inverse matrices. Matrix A is always for our coefficients. 1, -3, 2. Second equation, -1x, 4, -1. Third equation, 1, -2, 5. X, Y, Z. That's what I'm looking for. Matrix B is always my constants, -2, 0, -8. So in your calc, if you do A inverse B, you'll get your answer of 2, 0, -2. You can also solve this like we did in the first part of chapter 3. If I add equation 1 and 2 together here, the x's will cancel. And I'll have -3 plus 4y is 1y. 2 plus a -1z is 1z. -2 plus 0 is a -2. If I add equation 2 and 3 together, the x's will cancel. I'll get 2y plus 4z equals -8. I can take this, so I have equation 4, I have equation 5. They both just have y and z. If I double this equation here, then I'll get the y's to match up. I'll have 2y plus 2z is a negative 4. Same sign you would subtract. So you get 2z is negative 4, z is negative 2. Plug it in right here. You're going to get y plus negative 2 is negative 2, y is 0. Plug everything back in equation 1. You're going to get x minus 3 times y plus 2 times z is negative 2. You'll get x is 2. You get the same answer we get there. All right? So with the 3x3, you can do inverse matrices, or you can solve it by hand. You're going to have 4 in that section, and not as many as you see there. All right, guys, the conjugates, that's very easy. You write the same terms, just with a different sign in between. 12 and 9i, just with a minus in between. All right, 26 might be one of the more challenging ones. First off, the y-intercept should be pretty easy. It's what's left over when x is 0, and that would be a negative 3. Then, because it's a negative x squareds make the igloo, which have a max. So 2 of your 3 answers are easy to get. To find the vertex, it's negative b over 2a. Remember, I would give you the quadratic formula, which has negative b over 2a in it. All right, so if b is 16, negative b is negative 16 over 2 times a, 2 times negative 2. Negative 16 over negative 4 is a positive 4. You're going to plug that 4 in for x. That's how we get f of 4 right there. You can type that in as you see it. You get 29. That's why our vertex is 4, 29. Guys, 27 and 28, you just FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. 4x times 2x gives you that. It's 8x squared. 4x times 5 is 20x. Negative 9 times 2x is negative 18x. Negative 9 times 5 is negative 45. Combine the x's, you get 8x squared plus 2x minus 45. Number 20, you have conjugates here. That's why the middle terms cancel. Let's give you 25x squared minus 9. All right, next page here. We got some factoring, so we'll end the video after this page, and we'll have 2 more to finish this up. What multiplies to 100 because it's negative differs by 0, 10 and 10, and one of them's got to be negative. That's why it's x minus 10, x plus 10. What multiplies to 12 adds to 7, 4 and 3, x plus 4, x plus 3. What multiplies to 20, and because it's negative differs by 8, 10 and 2, the middle term's negative, so 10 has got to be negative, x minus 10, x plus 2. AC method is needed here. Do 6 times 10, 8 times c, you get 60. 1 multiplies to 60 adds to 19. That would be 4 and 15. That's why you write it as 6x squared plus 4x plus 15x plus 10. Group these two together. You can divide a 2x out. They both have a 2x in common. When you do 6 divided by 2, you get 3. You had x squared, take an x away. That's why you have a single, that's why you got a single x right there. Now 4x divided by 2x is 2. These two have in common a 5. Divide them both by 5, and you're left with 3x plus 2. You got 3x plus 2, 3x plus 2. That's why it goes right here. And the outsider is the 2x plus 5 get grouped together. This next one, just combine like terms. 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus a negative 4 is a positive 12. Just attach the I. I squared is a negative 1. I'll give you that on the final. Just got to do first, outer, inner, last here. 28 minus 6 is 22i. Minus 12i squared. I squared is a negative 1. Negative 12 times negative 1 is 12. 14 plus 12 is 26. 26 plus 22i. And lastly in this video, write a quadratic equation. No fractions allowed with the following roots. If I tell you x equals negative 4 and x equals 1/2, that means the opposite, x plus 4, is in the parenthesis, and x minus 1/2. No fractions allowed, so you're going to get rid of this half by doubling all of this. And that's going to give you 2x minus 1. Then you just FOIL, combine like terms to get your answer there. All right, so this is video 2 of probably 4, your final exam review. 90.9 the quadratic, signing out.